Hey y'all, welcome back to Everybody Yoga with Megan. Let's be honest, this channel is now mostly all about my Airstreaming adventures. I guess I need to rename it at some point, but that's neither here nor there. I'm here today to talk about something I'm actually pretty passionate about, which is female solo travel. I love it. I'm here for it, obviously. But also, sorry to my dudes out here, like, we're not even safe getting gas where I live. Like, almost been robbed, right? So solo travel for a woman is not as easy as packing up and hitting the road. Like, you have to be thoughtful, in my experience. So I'm under 5 foot, so that right there is a disadvantage for me. To my tall girly Ashton on adventure, we just live in different worlds. She's damn near 6 foot tall. You're gonna notice her. So anyways, this is not a fear-based mongering moment, but it is about being smart and safe and traveling where you want to travel, how you want to travel, when you want to travel. So about 15 years ago, I finally realized, like, I'm unmarried. Like, what am I waiting for? If I wait until I have a partner to do all the things I want to do, I'm just putting my life on hold. And I think it's important to live the life we want to live because that's where we're going to meet our like-minded friends and potential partners, right? So anyhow, that's when I started traveling alone. And I never really camped alone. I've gone on like retreats in the woods with other people or actual like camping with friends, but only recently did I really start camping alone. I've traveled alone and stayed in hostels. I've couch surfed. I've got tips and tricks for those too. If I got hostel and couch surfing girlies out there, I've had awful couch surfing experiences. I've had incredible couch surfing experiences. But we're talking about camping today. And actually any solo travel, anybody, man or woman. Rule number one, trust your gut. That, whatever you want to call it, your sixth sense, your instincts, trust it. You don't have to be like crazy pants about it, but if you walk somewhere, like ladies, if you're walking into a restaurant and the vibe is not there, trust your gut. There's 100 other restaurants, pick one. Even if there's only 2 other restaurants, pick one. Pick a different one. So anyways, so that being said, even if you're on a hike, like last June, I was hiking with Sage and the riverbed was kind of washed out and I couldn't clearly see the trail anymore. And we'd been kind of on the riverbed, I don't know, for probably 10, 20 minutes. And there was just no clear delineation of where the trail was supposed to pick back up. And I knew they'd had a lot of rain like the week before. And so my gut just said, you know what, maybe they haven't gotten to fixing this trail yet. And maybe I'm not even on the trail. And there was water overhead, clouds overhead indicating rain. And in this part of the country, like a flash flood is a thing. And so I'm standing on a riverbed where potentially a flash flood could come and I'm not clear where the trail is. So I just turned around. It was supposed to be like a quick, easy loop trail. But again, they'd had lots of rain. There was some potential damage. And I just all of a sudden was like, I don't think I'm where I'm supposed to be. So I turned around and just, okay, instead of a loop, we did a switchback. It was lovely. It was great. As we all know who camp and hike, the trail back is different than the trail there, right? Your views are different. You notice different flora and fauna. It's different. So, okay, so tip number 1, trust your gut. This was the beginning of the trail where I ended up deciding to turn back around once it was no longer clear. That brings us to tip number 2. So tip number 2 is share your itinerary. I typically share with my mom, who's in her 80s, so if I get lost in the wilderness, she needs to know I'm lost, but she's not going to be the one to come and get me, right? So then I also share with another friend or somebody who's closer than anybody else. So thankfully, I've got a good group of friends, and they're kind of scattered across the country, frankly, of the world now. Anyways, so share where you're going, when you're supposed to be there, what you plan to do when you're there, and even share your location, which in some parts of camping and stuff, like, your phone is not pinging appropriately. But if they know that they're supposed to hear from me by Sunday at 2 and it's Sunday at 5, then they're going to be calling. Where are you at? Why aren't you honoring the buddy system, right? Also, and I also do this for dates, have a safe word. If you need a friend to know that you're in danger and it's a kind of situation where you can't say fucking help me, sorry about the F-bomb, but help me, have a safe word that you could easily type, where if you're in a situation where there's somebody who could see your phone, who would understand that now you're jeopardizing whatever plan they have, pick a safe word. Mine for dates is glitter ponies. If I text a girlfriend glitter ponies, she better call me crying. Something terrible has happened. Her grandma's dying, her dog got hit by a car, I don't know. But glitter ponies means call me immediately, full-blown panic mode. I have to leave. I'm so sorry, sir. What a lovely date we've had. I've got to go. So anyways, so pick people that you can rely on to check your messages. Pick people that you can rely on to care about you and know when it's past time to have heard from you. So for my girlies out there, we're not picking the Tuesday night date guy, okay? He's not reliable. He gonna forget, okay? So anyways, so tip 2, share your itinerary. And that doesn't mean you have to be planned down to the moment, okay? Hear me on this. I had a guy once laugh in my face when I said I plan so I can be spontaneous. But I plan so I can be spontaneous. I need to be here by this time with this accomplished, and then my day is free and I'm set. And also, then the people who care about me know if I'm not here by this time, maybe I got a flat, maybe I'm on the side of the road somewhere, maybe the trailer flipped over. I don't know, right? My brain loves to do the best worst scenarios where we go from like, best scenario, my YouTube channel blows up and I earn all this money and I just get to camp and travel full time. Worst scenario, my camper flips over in the middle of the dark in the road and nobody knows and I die on the side of the road. It is actually a meditation thing to do best worst. Anyways, let's get to tip 3. By land or sea, we plan our trips. So speaking of planning, I like to look at campsites in advance. Not just like, oh, I'm going to be in New Braunfels, what's open this weekend? But which campsites have good reviews? Which campsites have photos of women being present? Which campsites, and I always have like a backup, right? So like, here's my first place, I want to camp here. Here's my second place, whatever. I'll be super honest, I haven't done a lot of boondocking off-grid myself yet. I've only had the camper less than 6 months by myself. So anyway, so I'm still talking like campsites. Which parks have good trails. And again, look at the pictures. If there are females in the photos, especially like, it looks like a group of girlies out there, then I'm more apt to book it. It makes me feel good. So know your campsite, know where you're headed, and you've already done half the work there. When you check in, if it's a female checking in, I will say, hey, I'm camping alone, FYI, kind of a thing. If it is a male, I do not say that. We do not know that man is our friend yet just because he works at the campground. So that leads us to number 4. Make friends while you're camping. Hundy P, make a friend. I am super cautious to tell anyone that I am alone. I even bring a spare pair of men's shoes from the Goodwill to put outside the camper. So I'll have my little size 5 flip-flops and then I'll have a size 10 flip-flop. I am sure everybody is lovely. Sure of it. And I am sure that there's something weird like, I don't know, 5 serial killers active at a time or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a serial killer, right? It could just be a crime of passion. But I am super sensitive about letting people know I'm alone. Again, if it's a group of female campers together, I'll say to them, hey girls, I'm camping alone. Like, do you want to hike tomorrow? Do you want to make dinner? Like, you don't have to insert yourself in their life. I'm not saying that. But, whatever, if you're making friends. If it's a couple, I might share with them. But if it's just a group of bros out camping, hell no, my boyfriend is on his way, which again sucks because the whole point is we're potentially going to meet our mate doing the things we love, but we're also potentially going to meet malice. So you just got to balance it. And I might be a little like overprotective. Again, it could be like the height thing because I am so short. Like if I go missing in a crowd, it's like I was never in the crowd to start. This is just the truth. Okay, next tip. Height discrepancy pick. Please note people are squatting to be my size. So our next tip is all about keeping protection handy. And what does protection mean to you? It means whatever you want it to mean. I carry a gun. But I'm trained, right? I know how to shoot it. I know how to you know, put the bullets in, whatever. I just ruined anybody believing I know how to use a gun. But I do. So I also, though, carry like a chirp alarm. So I can pull a pin and it's super loud and anybody close by is going to be like, what is going on there? I personally don't carry mace. I'm asthmatic. And for my asthma girlies, mace, if the wind blows the wrong way, you're the problem. Like, you are incapacitated. So it's just, I don't carry it. Do you? I also, you know, it's windy where I'm at, and so like the spritz in his eyes is going to end up in mine. And I also carry a knife. So ideally we would never be close enough that we would have to use that. But again, we're preparing for the worst and planning for the best, right? Or hoping for the best. Preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. So whatever makes you feel comfortable and confident. Even if your protection is texting people, I'm going to bed. Texting, I've woken up. Like, whatever it is that helps you feel safe where you're at so you can actually enjoy your experience, that's what we're doing. And there's no judgment. Like, zero. You want to carry a gun? Awesome. Great. Please be trained. Please know how to do it. Please follow state laws. You know, whatever. The states, the laws, but whatever, you know, I'm not liable for any of this, okay? So my final thoughts are really super, like, it's just common sense in my opinion. I like to camp with Sage. I like having a dog because girl will wake me up if you do not belong there. I used to have another dog, and he was a little overcautious. He'd be like, squirrel, there's a squirrel, there's a squirrel. We're in danger, right? You'd be up at like 4 a.m. 5 times. Sage is a little more discerning, and so she only barks if somebody comes on to the campsite, which is nice. We'll see though, we'll see. She's getting a little more sprightly these days. So common sense, trust your gut, make a plan, tell people the plan, let people know while you're out and about on your trip, if you feel secure with them, that you are alone. There's no harm in safety system, buddy system. I've met some cool people hiking on the trail, and we just kind of hiked together for a bit. So it's all about what you feel comfortable with. And I will say, I might do a whole different video on the emotional preparation for traveling alone, because it is very different. And there's these very interesting highs and lows, at least for me. So maybe that's the next video. We'll see. But if you have tips and tricks, please drop them below in the comments. I would love to hear them, and maybe make a part 2. And we're just out here being girlies, braving the world, and I love it, and I'm here for it. So thank you. Subscribe, like, follow, share, all of those things, and have a good one.